No one leaves home thinking, today I'm gonna get into a street fight. Yet, life's put us in situations we didn't choose. This video today is not about how to get into a street fight, it's about what you do when you no longer have a choice. Everything I'm gonna share with you comes from my personal experience, from the gym, and from real life situations. The goal is not to win a fight. The goal is to get home safe. So, let's talk about 9 principles which can help you in a real life situation.
Avoid conflict whenever possible. Self defense starts long before a fight exists. If you can avoid the conflict, avoid it. That's not cowardness, that's intelligence. You have nothing to prove on the street. If you can leave, change the direction, cross the street, or remove yourself from the situation, do it. The best fight is the one that never happens. On the street, there is no honor, only survival. This is an uncomfortable truth, but it needs to be said. On the street, there is no honor. When you're defending your life or the life of someone you love, you're not in a sport. You're not in a dojo and you're not in a movie. You don't win points, you survive. That means efficiency matters more than fairness. You are allowed to use whatever gives you a chance to escape. You are allowed to target sensitive areas. And you are allowed to deceive your attacker if you can. I'm not going to demonstrate techniques. I'm going to show targets. I'm just saying this. When your safety is on the line, you're not required to fight with honor. You are required to fight smart. The goal is not domination. The goal is to create a moment and leave. If you decide to act, act fast and decisively. On the street, everything happens fast, very fast. Hesitation is more dangerous than an imperfect decision. Either you leave, or you de escalate, or you act. Indecision will get you hurt. If you move, move with purpose. Don't rely on joint locks and fine techniques. What works perfectly in the gym doesn't always work on the street. Adrenaline changes pain perception completely. Fine joint locks require precision, timing, and control. I'm not saying they never work. I'm saying you cannot rely on them when chaos takes over. Avoid ground fighting, especially against multiple attackers. Ground fighting has its place. One on one competitions, controlled environments. The street is none of those. The ground is hard, is unpredictable, and there may be more than one attacker. Here's the reality. If you take the fight to the ground and there is more than one attacker, you've already lost. On the ground, you lose mobility, you lose awareness, you lose options. Your goal is simple: stay on your feet, stay mobile, and escape. I'll share a real experience from my own training at the end of this video that explains exactly why this matters. Consider legal self defense tools responsibly. There are legal self defense tools that can make a real difference in the street situations. I'm not talking about firearms or knives. I'm talking about legal self defense options like pepper spray, a stun device, or even a telescopic bat, depending on what is legal where you live. My honest recommendation is pepper spray. It allows distance, it's effective, and it gives you a chance to escape without having to overpower someone physically. But let me be very clear. These tools are not about power, not about intimidation, and not about confidence without responsibility. A self defense tool exists for one reason only: to create time, space, and an exit. Know the law, carry responsibly, and the goal is still the same: get home safe.
Even before anything happens, your posture matters. Don't put your hands down. Don't put them behind your back. And don't clench your fists like you're about to attack. What you want is a neutral position that gives you a lot of options. I'll show you a simple example. One hand close to the chest and the other on higher next to the temple. This is a position a jiu-jitsu instructor showed me. From here, I can react quickly, create distance, block or move, or even strike. For the aggressor, it doesn't look like you're ready to fight, but for you, it's a very good position in which we can talk to a potential aggressor.
Don't show your intentions. Calm can be a strategy. Being calm or even submissive does not mean being weak. Sometimes it's strategy. If the situation hasn't exploded yet, letting the aggressor believe he's in control can lower his guard. Don't challenge. Don't announce resistance. The mind relaxes before the body does. And if you decide that you must act, don't warn. Surprise matters. Calm on the outside, clear on the inside. And if you move, move decisively. Train martial arts or contact sports, but stay humble. Training matters. A trained person usually has much higher chance than an untrained one. Training gives you reflexes, emotional control, confidence, and decision making under pressure. But don't get comfortable. The street is unpredictable. A weapon can appear at any moment. A knife is extremely dangerous no matter how many techniques you've trained. Your life is worth more than any demonstration. I promised a real experience, and this one changed how I see ground fighting forever. This happened during Aikido training. We were preparing for Randori, a light sparring exercise specific to Aikido. It was me against three training partners, all black belts. The intention was training, not injury. I didn't plan to take the fight on the ground, but as the exchange evolved and I was put under pressure, I adapted. At that time, I wasn't fully convinced how dangerous ground fighting could be against multiple opponents. I also knew my partners had far less experience on the ground than I did. I felt the advantage, and I chose to use it. I managed to take the first two down almost without problems. Then the third one came in. Pure instinct, I hooked his leg. He fell, and his elbow landed directly into my liver. Accident. No intention. The sparring stopped immediately. And that moment proved something to me once and for all. Even if your opponents have less experience on the ground, if there are more of them, they have the advantage. Ground fighting is beautiful. It's effective. But against multiple attackers, I strongly advise you not to take the fight there.
Self-defense is not about violence. It's about survival. Don't look for fights. But if life puts you with your back against the wall, do everything you can to get home safe. Thanks for watching. See you next time.